What's the deal, people? It's your boy Big Star Raw Sports. RawSports.tv is the website. As you know, you already know. Raw Sports Films is the YouTube channel. We're here, man, for another classic episode of Legends Week, man. And you guys are definitely going to enjoy this episode here, man. Got my man Chris Handles Franklin from the Harrisburg area. He played, I mean, I don't want to, get into him, telling his story, but he played some college basketball, and he's currently a member of the world famous Harlem Globetrotters, man. I mean, this guy has an amazing story. He's doing so many good things in the community, man. Positive brother, man. So I already know, like, just me knowing his personality, because I actually know him personally. So this is definitely going to be a special episode. Just me knowing a little bit about him and just kind of knowing his personality. He totally has a positive vibe, man. I can only imagine that he's a great storyteller and has a great journey as to what led him to, being able to play with the world famous Harlem Globetrotters. My man, he's just waiting for him to join here. Let me see. I may have to send him a request. Just give me 1 second. Bear with me. All right, as we wait for my man Chris Handles to join. Hey, Chris, if you're watching right now, just send me a request to join, and then I'll accept it. We'll get this thing figured out. But in the meantime, if there's anybody checking in and tuned in to the Legends Week series for the very first time, man, you guys are, definitely in for a treat, man. It's Legends Week where everybody has a story, just telling stories and paying homage to our hoop legends, man, starting here in Pennsylvania and all around the globe, man. If you've missed any of the past episodes, you can watch them on my website, rawsports.tv is the website, or the YouTube channel, Raw Sports Films, on YouTube, and you'll be able to see all the past episodes of Legends Week. Just want to thank you guys, for tuning in, man. Faithfully tuning into the series. I've been getting tons of really positive feedback. Kat saying that the series is almost like 30 for 30, or like just some great, some crazy, crazy sports series, man. So I'm so thankful that you guys have tuned in faithfully, man, and have been enjoying all the stories from these amazing individuals that have been entertaining us, all these years. Let me see. I know my man Chris Franklin is online because I just spoke to him via DM, but he was asking me instructions on how to actually join the live video. So if I need to, I may have. Oh, here we go. He's on. Us old heads, with this technology. All right, Chris, I see you on, Franklin. I see you. So just send me that request to join, and then it'll pull you on the screen automatically, and we'll get started. I may have. Here we go. There he is. a true old head with the technology, huh?
True old head. Don't got a clue how to work the daggone live.
Listen, anytime you're dealing with technology, just make sure you got like a 9 or 10 or 11-year-old on deck. You know what I'm saying? You can just turn it over to them and just have it working for you.
That's what's needed.
No doubt. Hey,
can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear. You're crystal clear, perfect lighting. Everything's great. Nice, perfect backdrop. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? With the memorabilia back there. Perfect, man. Hey, just want to set the stage real quick, man. Just want to thank you so much for joining me here on Legends Week, man. What it's all about, Chris Franklin is just paying homage to individuals like yourself, man. Just this is my contribution to helping to solidify your legacy, man. Just paying homage to you, man, and just saying thank you for your contribution to the game, all the things, all the time, and the energy and the classic memories that you've given to the sports culture, the things that you're doing right now to entertain the world and to put so many smiles on people's faces, man. I just want to say thank you, and I never want people to ever forget about your contribution. And then also this younger generation, just want to educate them on actually who you are, what you're doing, and just want to say thank you on a large scale and on this platform here called Legends Week, man. So thank you for joining me, man.
Thanks for having me, and definitely honored to be here.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, we're gonna get right into it, man. Oh, just want to mention right off the top, that the Starling boys, my 3 Starling boys, will definitely be in attendance at the Chris Franklin Ultimate Spin Camp. So we will be there. We will be there early, half an hour early, to make sure we get our stuff. So it's going down, man. If you can, just mention that real quick. I'm not sure if the slots are all filled up, but just mention that real quick.
Yeah, I'm doing a free camp for kids. It's virtual. It'll be online. It'll be Monday through Thursday of next week, but you pick up the packages or the package tomorrow. You know, we got it's a free camp for kids. We got each kid gets a basketball. They get cones to do the drills. They get hand sanitizer. They get a mask. They get a T-shirt. They get a little book bag. So, you know, just a way to keep kids active, show them the area that I appreciate the area, and a way to have kids active but still stay social distance.
No doubt. Hey, real quick, I'm not sure if we can do anything about it, but it seems to be a bad connection on your end. It keeps kind of going in and out, and it's kind of hard to hear you.
That's not positive. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me try to.
Hey, y'all just bear with us. You know, God willing, we can get the reception issues all taken care of. He actually froze on my screen. You know, God willing, we can get it all worked out, man, because Chris Franklin, my man Chris Franklin, definitely has an amazing story to tell. His journey. He's well respected in the central Pennsylvania, you know, Harris legend. So I definitely want to hear about all the stories. As you know, until he joins us, until he rejoins us, you know, you're tuned in to the story of my man Chris Handles Franklin. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he played at Susquehanna Township High School. Yeah, it definitely froze on my end. So yeah, it wasn't just me that was seeing his you know, reception issues. Chris Franklin, if you're still watching, just if you can, try to go to a different room or maybe outside or something like that, and then we'll get it done. But anyway, you know, he played at Susquehanna Township High School, if I'm not mistaken. Played at Lockhaven, and somewhere in between, you know, God took him, and you know, he veered off, and his journey took him to being able to play with the legendary Harlem Globetrotters. Well, of course, the Q&A is definitely a part of Legends Week. That's the format. If anybody doesn't know, I appreciate that. Aiden Tomo, Q&A, question answer section is definitely a part of Legends Week. So just make sure you tune in to the end of the broadcast, because Chris Franklin's going to go back and forth and answer questions for the people. All right. You good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you the whole time, actually.
Okay. Yeah, it was.
See you.
All right, perfect. It was just a little choppy on my end, but you're perfect now. Everything's good. Yeah, so we're going to get right into it. All right, so here on Legends Week, just to kind of warm us up, we play a little game. It's called 10 Random Questions. I'm gonna just shoot 10 random things at you, just to kind of see the first thing that comes to your mind. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Favorite cartoon growing up?
Scooby-Doo, Harlem Globetrotters.
No doubt. Classic episode. Legendary. Listen, Scooby-Doo is so legendary. It's way more. Scooby-Doo had like a hip-hop influence. I mean, you had all the classic guest appearances, like from the Three Stooges, Harlem Globetrotters. Like, that was a legend. That show was way more legendary than we even knew, man. Legendary. For sure.
That's it.
Most points you ever scored in a competitive game at any level, summer league, a high school, college, anything?
I wasn't much of a scorer.
Okay.
But I would say probably 38 in a summer league game.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, that's great. That's amazing. Well, I'm a two-part question. I'm gonna switch it up to you since you got the handles. About how many times in your career do you think you've crossed somebody and made them fall? I'll ask you that question. And made them hit the canvas.
That's a whole bunch. That's you know, it's not like I counted, but that happened quite often growing up.
No doubt. That's what's up. That's good money. And I should have actually asked that question, you know, thinking who I'm sitting there with. The Martin series, the classic legendary Martin Lawrence, you know, series Martin. Who was your favorite character? Who was your favorite character that he played on Martin?
Otis all day.
Oh, Otis.
Otis, yeah, the policeman. Otis was hilarious to me.
No doubt, no
Definitely.
doubt. Another 80s related question. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up? I mean, WWF, NWA, one of your favorite wrestlers or tag teams?
I'm gonna have to say, a lot of people won't know the name, but I have to say Tony Atlas.
Tony
Tony
Atlas.
Atlas was, one of the few black wrestlers out, and he was great to me. So
No doubt,
that
no
would
doubt.
that would be it.
No doubt. Who's the local player growing up? Maybe one of your peers or somebody that maybe a couple years ahead of you that kind of inspired you basketball wise. Somebody that you admired their game and check. That kind of inspired you to do your thing.
Oh man, that's a lot of people. I think Billy Owens was the first one from our area to really take it to another level. A lot of the guards around the area, the Jeff Lewis's and the Kevin Awkwards, even people my age, DeJuan Lees and Robert Tates. I mean, it was a lot of good guards around here that I liked a lot and emulated different parts of different people's game.
No doubt, no doubt. What are some other sports that you played besides basketball? If you did play anything else?
Oh man, I love football, wide receiver football and baseball. So football and baseball, both sports I love to do. Basketball just once I got to high school, it appeared that was my money sport. So
No
I went
doubt.
after it.
No doubt. Who was the toughest player that you had to ever guard? Do you remember guarding, any level, high school, college, summer league, that you played against?
That could be a lot of people too. High school, like I said, locally, DeJuan Lee, like I said, he was a smart player. He was one of those players that get you up in the air and get you in foul trouble. So in high school, I really had problems with DeJuan.
Yeah.
Did a little better in college going against him.
Oh, no doubt.
But I think probably because our team was a little better.
No doubt.
Lazarus Sims, who played for Syracuse,
Okay.
he was a tough player. But I think Speedy Williams, who from the movie Above the Rim.
Oh, word.
Speedy's phenomenal player, tough guard, and then my right hand man Arnold Bernard A-Train. I think he's both from New York City, but both great guards.
For sure, for sure. Legendary names. Appreciate you bringing back those names too, man. Favorite sports related movie?
Above the Rim.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Anything like kind of neck and neck with that, or just flat out Above the Rim?
Well, I liked Above the Rim. If I go way back, I like The Fish to Save Pittsburgh with Dr. J and Meadowlark Lemon.
Of course.
I was a student of the Globetrotters. I loved them as a kid. So Meadowlark Lemon in the show and people doing tricks with the ball. I love that movie because of it.
No doubt. Speaking of Meadowlark Lemon and all that kind of stuff, who's your favorite trotter of all time, if you have one, or favorite trotters?
Curly Neal, hands
Okay.
down. I had a bunch of favorites. Curly Neal, I loved Marcus Haynes, how he dribbled the ball. Of course, Meadowlark Lemon, the great. One of my mentors, Sweet Lou Dunbar. But if I had to pick one, it's definitely my man Curly Neal.
No doubt. Last question. Favorite NBA player growing up,
Isaiah Thomas.
and why?
He was tenacious on the court. Isaiah was an amazing guard. My buddy Pharaoh liked Magic Johnson, and I liked Isaiah.
No
So
doubt.
we would battle back and forth. And as a matter of fact, when I talked to Isaiah, I told him I wore number 11 because of him. I thought he was just a great player, a great competitor too.
No doubt. That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate the warm up, man. We're gonna get right into it. Normally I start with you just kind of telling your story. Oh, first thing, just a little housekeeping. I'm sure we'll talk, for more than an hour. So as it closes on our first hour, it'll just give me a little countdown on my end. I'll end it, save it, and then we'll just redo the whole process in like 30, like about 30 seconds. And then at the very end, we'll have a nice little Q&A. In case any of the people, any viewers have any questions for you, I'll allow you to kind of read some of the comments and answer any questions from the people. But normally we'll just start with you just kind of telling your story and then leading up to kind of, where you are now. But I'm gonna just kind of work backwards real quick, just briefly. So if you can, just reintroduce yourself to the people, and then what your current, professional career is right now, and then what inspired you to doing what you do now. We'll just start there.
Chris Handles Franklin. They call me Handles. Is my nickname. Been my nickname since probably about the 10th grade. I got my nickname here in Harrisburg. A friend of mine, Sean Broden, rest in peace, Sean Broden, gave me that nickname, and in high school. But I still currently play basketball and tour with the world famous Harlem Globetrotters. So been with them for about 13 years. And ironically, it's what I always wanted to do. Since I was 6 years old, I lived actually in Hall Manor, the south side of Harrisburg. And back then they didn't have basketball courts. So I saw the Harlem Globetrotters on the cartoon. I picked up a ball and just would dribble up and down the sidewalk. Would try to do tricks with the ball at a young age. And I was mesmerized. It was my introduction to basketball. So definitely blessed to have that dream come to fruition. So I started off there, and once I moved to Edgemont in Susquehanna, I still stayed with the same thing, dribbling the ball everywhere I went. Matter of fact, people in the community still talk about how I dribbled to the store, frontwards, backwards, all kinds of ways. Kept a ball with me. And I think the rest is pretty much history when it comes to that. I had a goal, had a dream, started off young and just kept dribbling the whole way through.
No doubt. When you talk about dribbling to the store and everything, remind me of like those scenes in Cornbread Earl and Me, Cornbread, just dribbling the ball everywhere, man. Legendary, man. So if you can, all right, now let's go back. If you can, just let us know where the Chris handles, the Globetrotters and kind of where you are right now is the present. But take us to the past and where this Chris Handles Franklin story begins. Take us to the beginning and just tell your story. And I'll interject, however I need to.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, I always wanted to do it. So I knew I wanted to be a Globetrotter at a young age. It was my only goal. I didn't know how to get there, what I wanted to do, but I knew that's what I wanted to do. No doubt. At a young age, I was trying to study them. I was trying to read as much as I could about them, watching as many videos as I could, and I would try to imitate the greats. So I remember a good friend of mine, Joe Heaton, who's a coach now for Susquehanna High School. We would hang every day with my buddy Jop, and they would say, do curly kneel, and I would be on the ground at a young age on my knees, dribbling between my legs. So I always had that. I always wanted to do that. I started making a name for myself a little bit as I got older in high school. Had a solid high school career, Big 15, played at Susquehanna. We had some good teams, underachieved, but had some good teams. And blessed enough to get a full scholarship to college. Lockhaven University, had a solid career there, ranked second in the nation in assists and steals.
Oh, wow.
For 3 of my 4 years. I had a solid career in college. And after college, I wanted to pursue my dream, which was to be a Harlem Globetrotter. But first, I went to graduate school to get my master's degree. I felt like I had school down pat and wanted to have something to fall back on in case I couldn't get my dream, which I didn't know how I was going to get there.
So this whole time, being a Harlem Globetrotter was still your goal.
Yeah. I never had, my thoughts are unique because, most people, their dream or whatever in basketball is to be the NBA, or that was never my dream. But, basketball, it took me all over the world. And now I guess I've been blessed to be getting paid to play basketball for about 20 years now. So a long career and still going for dribbling the ball. But I went to graduate school. After I got my master's degree from the University of Pittsburgh, I went after, I actually had an offer to teach at the University of Pitt.
Okay.
But I was finally in contact with the Globetrotters. I had made this tape, this unique stuff, and I sent it to the Globetrotters. I mean, I tried everything. I was making false calls, and, I was doing everything. I met Orlando Antigua, who played for Pitt, but used to play for Pitt, but then he played for the Globetrotters. And he had gave me a card or whatever, and they had hooked me up, and I sent them this tape. And the Globetrotters were interested.
Okay.
And they invited me to camp.
Okay.
And I was headed to camp, and so I turned down all my job offers, everything. And the day before I was supposed to fly out, I never got a ticket, so I called, and it was an NBA lockout, and they said they couldn't use me. So all the players that were going to NBA ended up going to the Globetrotters, and I was stuck.
Wow.
So what happened was I ended up flying to New York, or I went to New York to try out for these other teams. I met tried out with this team. They were interested. Then I tried out with this other team. I met them in the World Trade Center. I didn't even have to try out. They offered me a contract. First contract I signed. I signed it on Thursday and was gone Monday out in Colorado.
And what type of team was this? You know, what type of
it
team
was a show basketball team, and it was a horrible experience.
Wow.
Well, it was the first contract I ever signed. So I didn't really know how to look at contracts. I didn't have anybody look at contracts. You know, my goal was to be a globetrotter, but I didn't know how to get there, what to do. So when I went there,
let me pause you real quick. Keep that thought, because it's not as if, okay, the NBA, you know, it's not really a blueprint, but people have kind of figured out the formula. If you want that to be your goal, you know, you're playing, you're training, you're working out, you got to go to college, or nowadays you don't got to go to college, you got to get recruited, and you know what I mean, you get scouted, and you can go to the NBA or whatever. But the Globetrotters, it's not like you can go to the website and be like, okay, if you want to be a Globetrotter, these are the steps. You got to do this. You got, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who do you call? Who do you contact? And that was prior, when you were doing it, prior to social media, prior to like the, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff. So
exactly.
This is interesting. This is interesting because you almost kind of manually are getting there, but continue.
Yeah. So I went out there. Like I said, it was a bad contract. I knew what I was getting, but I didn't know I had to pay my own rent. So most of my stuff was going to rent and what have you. And I had no way around. I had no TV, no cable. I just was there. Back then, there wasn't no internet.
Yes.
I was just stuck. So I did it for a while. Did what I had to do. I was out there for months. Then I ended up signing with this team in New York City. I moved to New York City, and that's when I started opening things up. When I moved to New York, things opened up. I moved to Queens. I would have to jump in a dollar cab every day, take that to the Jamaica station, jump on the train, take it pretty much 2 hours into the city to Manhattan, then jump on the bus and take that over to Jersey. Every single day I had to do that. But I started making a name for myself in the city and doing things, meeting a lot of people. A lot of people took me under their wings. Sudden Sam Worthen, who played in the league, played for the Bulls and was a great mentor of mine. Speedy Williams from the movie Above the Rim. My right-hand man, A-Train. Big Strick, rest in peace, Big Strick. A lot of those dudes took me under their wing. And, you know, I started making a name for myself. Signed a solid contract. And was playing show ball, but wasn't with the Globetrotters yet. Still trying to get there. And my break came when you know, a friend of mine, A-Train, had won the world's best dribbler contest in New York City. It was a Nike competition. And he had won New York City. And they had it all over. They had Philadelphia, DC, Atlanta, LA, Chicago. So when you win from your city, you go to All-Star Weekend to compete against the best to see who the best in the world is. A-Train had won New York. But what happened was he had gotten into a plane accident, meaning that the landing gear didn't come out in Chicago. So he was injured and couldn't do it. So I asked him if I could do it. He made a couple calls and he got me in there, and I drove my little bucket. At this time I was back and forth from Harrisburg in New York. I drove my little bucket down to Harrisburg the day before All-Star Weekend down to DC. And I was in representing New York City as a dribbler. And it was all these players I had seen before or knew who they were. They all had names, and I was from Little Old Harrisburg. I didn't know how I fared, but I was just happy to be there.
Of course.
When I got there, they gave me 2 free pair of sneakers, a Nike jacket, a Nike bag, and something else. But once I got that, I didn't care whether I won or lost.
No doubt.
So that day, they said, you know, this is what, you know, they were giving us the rules or whatever. And they turned this little gymnasium into this big spectacle. It was all these people there. It was packed. It was judged by Vince Carter, Rasheed Wallace, Gary Payton, and I think Jason Kidd.
Oh, that's major. Did you know that it was going to be that type of stage set?
I didn't know what to expect, you know.
Wow.
And like I said, Matter of fact, when I got there and I sat down, it was a dude trying to intimidate. Once the guy from Nike left, it was a dude who walked around and said, okay, he's weak. We can beat them. He's all right. Oh, we're going to kill them. And he pointed at me and said, he's a replacement. The person knows who they are. I'm not going to say their name, but kind of a known person too. Yeah. So when we got there to the gym that night, like I said, it was packed, and they transformed this gym into this big spectacle, lights, cameras, everything, and everybody was out there warming up, and I just stood right there to the side, watching everybody warm up. And the head of Nike, which was my man Jerry Erasmus, he came over to me and said, "You ain't gonna warm up? You ain't gonna prepare?" And I said, "Nah, I'm all right." Thinking in my mind, like, I've been preparing for this part my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, let's get it. Then when I did it, you know, it was my turn. I did my little thing, slid, the crowd went crazy.
Wait, pause. Set the stage for us, because I'm a visual person. I'm trying to actually visualize, like, as you're talking, I'm visualizing it. So set the stage. So, like, is it like Showtime the Apollo? Like, okay, Handles, you're up, and you go out and you do your thing. Like,
yeah, it was dunkers and it was ball handlers, you know, and everybody going for the crown. For the crown. And so it was my turn to do my ball handler routine. I had about, I think, like 45 seconds or something, minute, whatever it was. Now I watched everybody else do everything they had, and ironically, a lot of the stuff I did, like, nobody else did. It was stuff I just came up with. So I mean, I did a little dribble and I slid, and when I slid on my knees, the crowd went crazy, and I started walking on my knees and started sliding backwards like I did in my first commercial. And Gary Payton jumped out of his seat. When Gary Payton jumped out of his seat, I said, I got him. And I got up, started doing all kinds of tricks with the ball, bounced it and caught it on my neck, and ended with the timeout.
Let's go.
I got a perfect score, all 10s.
Yes, let's go.
We won the whole competition. I was crowned, you know, world's best dribbler.
Wow.
And Nike said they wanted to do commercials.
Wow, that's dope, man. Pause, man. I just want to take a second, man, to applaud you, man. That's major, man. I wish I would have been there to be able to salute you and just, like, celebrate with you. That's amazing, man. That's a major milestone. Just knowing what you were working towards, that little kid, the projects, you know what I'm saying? And then kind of like just that wasn't the ultimate goal, but just accomplishing that another milestone. You know what I'm saying? And before you go on, did you realize that, you know, how they say, you know, you got to trust the process? Did you realize that this was the process you were going through, or you was just in it, just trying to or you didn't realize this was a part of the process? Nah,
I didn't realize. The doors were closing. I just kept going and trying to knock new ones open. And like all this time, I'm just trying to become a Globetrotter. So I didn't realize, you know, just the stuff that I was trying to practice with the Globetrotters, I actually translated to what was going on at the time.
Yeah. And shout out, somebody left a comment, and N Smith 2681 said, all that, you know, you win, and then after being called a replacement. Yeah. That's a major testimony, man. That's a major testimony right there.
Yeah, man. It was but you know, that moment was life-changing. But, you know, they said they wanted to do commercials, but I didn't even think of it as being a reality yet, you know. So when it was time to do the commercial, I was still touring. So when it was time to try out for the commercial, I couldn't make it. I was out of area. And I think it was like 4,000 people trying out for this one commercial.
And it was a Nike commercial?
Yeah. That was my first Nike commercial.
Wow. But you had your obligation with the team you was touring with.
Yeah, I couldn't make it. So what happened was Nike was like, well, you won the competition. You made it to the shoot already. So when we get to the shoot, when I finally get to the shoot, it's like 50 people all trying to make this commercial. It's the best of the best.
So it wasn't guaranteed that you was going to be in the commercial?
No, if they don't show your face, you know, you didn't make the commercial. And it was, man, it was a lot of people who didn't make the commercial. Matter of fact, Ja Rule didn't make the cut. He had a part, and Ja Rule was hot at that time. Yeah. Where the balls were flying past him, and he was going HUD 1, HUD 2. It was hot. Okay, yeah. But they snipped it. He didn't make the commercial.
Put it on the chopping block. Everything don't make it.
Yeah. But that first commercial, man, was entitled Freestyle. It you know, it won 13 awards, including an ESPY. It's currently in the African American History Museum forever. It's rated one of Nike's best commercials of all time.
Wow.
That commercial literally changed my life. So when I did that commercial.
Where can people see the commercial still? Is it on YouTube or on the website?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's called Freestyle.
Okay.
And Nike Freestyle. And if you just Google Nike Freestyle basketball,
I'll make sure
you
I find that. I'm gonna dig it back up for the people. But go ahead.
So when I did that commercial, the commercial was a phenomenon. And overnight, I remember I knew when the commercial was coming on, but I didn't know if I was gonna make the commercial, and I didn't know if I made the cut.
Oh wow!
So it was on, I think, during the NBA playoffs or something, and I went to my buddy's barbershop, Joe Cobb. Joe Cobb had a barbershop on 17th and Market.
Yeah.
Me and a lot of different people.
Shout
man.
out, just cutting it up. Shout out to the guy.
Yeah,
just cutting it up.
And we all sat there and watched the commercial, and every time my face popped up, everybody went crazy. And I happened to be in the commercial like 6 or 7 times. The commercial started a big street ball craze. It spawned and1. It spawned that commercial spawned a lot of different things. Again, that commercial changed my life. Now, the thing about am I cutting out? Am I good?
Yeah, it cut out for a second, but we back on track now. You right, okay. You synced up. We good now.
Yeah. So after that commercial, man, we got calls from everywhere. We got calls from all kinds of sneaker companies offering contracts, and one of those sneaker companies was Nike. I ended up.
Okay.
and1 was one of the offers. and1, Nike. It was a couple of them. We ended up signing with Nike. That's the one who made us quote unquote famous. I ended up signing a contract with Nike, and like I said, my life was changed overnight.
No doubt. At what point, and you'll continue, like when you continue telling the story, pick up from there, like from the Nike commercial and then on. But I want to go back real quick. When did you realize? Well, I guess you already kind of answered it. When you realized that you had like a really good handle, like you know what I'm saying, like when you realized that it was starting to come together as a young kid, like you know what I'm saying.
Well, I always knew I could dribble the ball.
Okay, that was always thing.
Yeah, I never forget. Even when I lived in Home Manor, I would dribble up and down the sidewalk, and I never forget. Somebody told me, living the row next to me, rest in peace, actually, brother and sister, Carl Brahanen and Lisa Brahanen, great friends. But Carl Brahanen was like, he told me that you could dribble with a left hand and a right hand. Keep doing that, you're gonna be good. No doubt. I never could tell the difference between my left and my right, so I was always good at dribbling the ball. I just could do it. I just didn't know how I never had left Harrisburg at that point. So I didn't know how I ranked up against other people around the world.
I got you.
And I didn't realize that there wasn't a lot of people or anybody doing a lot of the stuff I did.
Gotcha.
And so like I said, once I did the commercial, and I made the commercial that many times, once I got the contract offer from Nike, which was a great run. I went on and filmed 5 commercials, including Vince Carter, Dr. Funk commercial with Vince Carter. I played on Vince's team.
Wow.
I'm the one who came up. I played Pee Wee Kirkland in the commercial. It was a 70s throwback. I'm the one who threw the ball to Vince. I toured with Vince overseas with Nike. We did China and China and Taiwan together.
Wow. So what was that experience like? What were you guys doing? Like when you guys showed up, what was the date like? What did you do?
I mean, we were doing all kinds of things, but Nike, man, it was first class everything, man. First of all, the pay was phenomenal for little or nothing, and I mean, we got unlimited sneakers, unlimited clothes, unlimited gear, which was something new. And then like we would almost turn street ball into a worldwide phenomenon. It was this was pre and1, like that commercial spawned and1. So it was the hottest thing out. Matter of fact, that same year we got a call from Jay-Z to do the MTV Music Awards with Jay-Z. We performed with Jay-Z, did the tricks with the ball, threw it to Jay-Z in the crowd. He came on the crowd,
dope, man.
singing Ace to the Izzo. We did.
You guys were kind of like you know, something on the, like, as far as that generation and something like that, like almost like pioneering a lot of things that would follow, kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like along
Yeah.
this wave of you know what I mean, kind of this trickle down effect and influence a lot of other things, like you said, man. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was a big start to a lot of stuff, man. And it was a humbling experience for me. I mean, I'm getting to a point where I'm around all these celebrities and stars, and I was just new to it.
Yeah.
And to the point where, you know, they were just as impressed with me as I was with them. I never forget, at that same awards, you know, I met Michael Jackson. Jamie Foxx was hosting the show, and Jamie Foxx was like, catch the ball on your neck, which is the move I do in my commercial. I catch it on my neck. He calling his friends like, I told you it wasn't fake. So I mean, it was amazing, man. You know, it was crazy. Now the MTV Music Awards, you do it in front of a live audience.
Yes.
But we did it the night before. We practiced. We practiced in front of a live audience outside the Rockefeller Center, in New York. And while we were doing the performance with Jay-Z, somebody in the crowd hollered, Harrisburg. It was my man, Sean Rux was in the crowd.
No doubt.
Yeah, that was awesome. So I was like, Harrisburg's everywhere.
I
had on my MMT gear representing and went up there proud. So
that
was an awesome experience.
That's awesome, man. So where, so from there, you know, what's the next chapter? Kind of what does that lead to? And then, you know, take us from there.
I did that commercial. Then I went on and did Funk Ship commercial with Snoop Dogg, Parliament, and like Katino Mobley, Lisa Leslie, DeJuan Wagner, all in that commercial, Elton Brand. That's why we got real cool with the directors, the Hughes brothers, who did Minister Society. And I started off that commercial right after Snoop. They had a cameo of my face and a picture of me spinning and starting to do the tricks with the ball. Then I went on to do LeBron James' first commercial. With Bernie Mac preaching in the church, had the legends there, Jerry West, Moses Malone, Dr. J, and George Gervin, all the street ball legends, Joe Hammond, Pee Wee Kirkland, Fly Williams, and then street ball legends from all over the world. I think my man Trix, I think, is on, who was a star of that commercial too. He was a young kid then, man. Now big up to Trix. He's out doing movies, did Fast and Furious 5, doing a bunch of movies and amazing ball handling. So you know, we did the LeBron commercial, and you know, I had a great run with Nike. I was under contract with Nike for about 5 years. Traveling all over the world, making appearances with Nike and doing different things. And eventually, you know, I was trying to be a Harlem Globetrotter all these years. Eventually, the Globetrotters came looking for me.
Wow. So during this time, okay, you're working for Nike. You know, not work, but you have the contract with Nike. You're doing all these things. But in the back of your mind, was it still like, I'm still, you know, this is still almost like just, you know, a resume builder. I'm still trying to, you know, get with the Globetrotters. That's still you focus only on the Nike thing.
No, well, I mean, with Nike at that point, man, it was the biggest thing in the world. Like, we got called to be in Scary Movie 2. Like Lil Bow Wow and P. Diddy imitated in the video. Like, everybody was imitating our commercial. It was the hottest thing out.
Yeah.
So
wasn't that the part like Scary Movie 2 when they had the
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo, that's legendary, man.
Yeah, that was our commercial, man.
Y'all influenced Hollywood. Y'all influenced everything, man.
Yeah. Originally, man, we were supposed to be in that movie. Actually, the Wayans brothers, we were supposed to be doing tricks with the ball, and the Wayans brothers were supposed to cut our heads off. And our heads were supposed to float off, and their heads were supposed to float on top of our bodies. And it would be their heads on our bodies. But I don't know why, but something happened in Nike. Nike niched it and wouldn't let us do it. And they did it anyway. But yeah, man, it was a great time, man. And I still, like, for me, I heard I was too old to be a Globetrotter, is what I heard from people who had played for the Globetrotters or what have you. And I just wanted to wear the uniform just one time. It's what I always wanted to do. That's it.
Yeah.
So when they contacted me, finally, I mean, I had almost thought that, you know, it was too late. Really, I started listening to other people telling me, and I'm still trying to get in where I could, but I thought it was too late for me. When they contacted me, my man Al Clocker, who was one of the scouts of the Globetrotters, he called me. I thought it was Baker something.
Gotcha.
I actually asked, I said, am I playing on the Globetrotters or the team that play against the Globetrotters?
No doubt, no doubt.
He said, nah, we want you to try out for the Globetrotters. So, I mean, I just, man, I had an opportunity to try out for the team, made the team, and man, so I had a whole career and then started another career with the Globetrotters after.
Curious, real quick, tell me, I want you to tell me about the whole tryout process, what that was like. But real quick, were you on a scale of 0 to 10, with you being in your prime? Because okay, age is just a number. I'm not concerned about your age, but at that point when you were pursued by the Globetrotters to try out, were you in the prime of your, like, were you in the best shape of your life as far as handling? Or was you kind of like, you know, on a downslide, or were you in the best shape of your life? Like, it's like, yo, you know what I mean? Like I can, you know, what you need, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? Where were you at as far as your skills?
Well, see, I was in the best shape of my life. You know, when you fresh out of college, man, you playing pro ball, which I played in a bunch of different pro leagues and what have you, back then. I was in, you know, the best of the best as far as basketball goes. And that's why I always tell people, man, you know, what happened was, I mean, when that door closed, I mean, I thought it was like the end of the world.
Yeah.
But when I finally got on the Globetrotters, there was nobody still on the team. Well, it was one person still on the team from back then when I would have made it, right? Okay. So if I would have made it back then, I wouldn't still be on the team most likely. Gotcha. As a matter of fact, I would have did none of that Nike stuff, none of that stuff without that door closing. Gotcha. And that's why I tell people, man, when one door closes, you know, another one will open. It might not be your time. You know what I mean? And it wasn't my time, because if I would have made it back then, I wouldn't have did none of that Nike stuff. I wouldn't still be playing. So I started over, man. I had a full career before I became a Globetrotter. So when I got to the Globetrotters, I was a seasoned vet. No doubt. You know what I mean? I had already toured on a lower level for years, worked crowds for years. I knew what I was doing. So I was a veteran already. No doubt. So I came as a rookie, but I was really a veteran. Of course. And went to another, it's been 13 years and still going. So
hey, so what was the so you get called, what was the audition or the tryout like with the Globetrotters? And then were you nervous? I mean, was you know, it was just work, you was comfortable, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I was confident that I had my shot. Like, I was looking like, this is my shot. I didn't, you know, it was, you know, might have been a little nerves, but really it was like, man, I waited my whole life for this. Like, ain't no time to tense up now. Yeah. I never forget, man. It was like a lot of the CEO and their kids were there. There probably was like 13 kids, and I had a basketball. And I told the kids, I said, tell them kids to just come take the ball. And it was 13 kids. I was on my knees. They were trying to steal the ball and couldn't take it. And, you know, I was sliding all over the place, walking in and out, all on my knees, and nobody could take the ball. And they were so impressed with that they made it a part of that year's show. Like, wow. Third quarter, take some kids from the crowd, go take the ball. You know, wow. And I would dribble, and when time's running out, I let the kids steal the ball. The crowd would go crazy, and it was over. So
that's major, dog. That's super major, man. I'm gonna let you pick up from there, but go back real quick. Before you had, you know, you said, yo, this was my shot. Like, this is the audition. This is what I've been working for all my life. Before you, almost like, you know, when just go with me here. I'm sure it didn't happen like this, but just imagine if it happened like this. The MC's there, and now our next contestant for this tryout, you know, this guy, his name is Chris Handles Franklin. And before they opened the curtain, like, what was going through your mind? Did you take some deep breaths? Was you like, all right, talking to yourself, like, all right, Chris, this is what you've been waiting for, buddy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like what was your pregame before you went into like doing your routine?
Man, I mean, well, first of all, you know, a lot of, man, what people don't realize, like my man Jizzle played for the Globetrotters, great, amazing dunkers on I see.
No Much love. Shout out to Jizzle. Shout out, man.
Phenomenal dunker, one of the best in the world.
Wow.
Easy. The thing about it is, man, a lot of it's just you playing real ball. So it was basketball too. And then you got your time to shine and show what you had done. But by that time, man, I had been doing it so long, it was second nature. I had probably more tricks than most of the people that were on the team by then. I had been in the game already for years, honing my skills. So I wasn't too nervous, man. I was just, once they flew me the whole way to Houston, I mean, I knew that I wasn't leaving without a contract. It just wasn't happening, you know.
I know that's right.
So I mean, I actually, man, that first year I took a pay cut.
Okay.
Man, a significant pay cut to sign with the Globetrotters. It paid off, of course, but like I did it because I didn't do it for the money. I didn't do it for nothing. I did it because it's what I wanted to do since I was a little kid, since I was 6. My only goal in life. So just to say I fulfilled my dream or I fulfilled my goal, that was it.
Yeah. At what point did you know that you had gotten the job? Like, did they tell you on the spot? It was like, hey, we'll call you back in a couple weeks, or what?
Nah, I got a contract offer before I left.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't sign immediately because, like I said, I was taking a pay cut.
Yeah.
When I was with Nike and had my own appearances and my own business, and I was doing a lot of stuff, man. I was at a good place. I was an entrepreneur. I had my own business, doing speaking engagements, NBA halftimes, Nike events, commercials, all kinds of stuff. So we stayed busy. So it wasn't, I wasn't nervous and I wasn't pressed for money at that time.
Gotcha.
So when I ended up signing it, it was strictly for the love.
Gotcha.
Strictly for the love. It's what I always wanted to do.
Gotcha.
And that's why I signed. And of course, it ended up paying, man. I had some of the best experiences of my life with the Globetrotters. 13 years and still going, and blessed to go to every state in the U.S., 84 countries around the world.
Wow.
Met presidents and, played ball with presidents.
I saw the picture with you and Obama, I believe, on your Instagram page, I believe.
Yeah, man. Had an opportunity to go to the White House, play basketball with President Obama, and
wow,
just a very charismatic. That was an awesome experience for me. First African American president.
Yeah.
And one thing about the president, man, his charisma is phenomenal. So everybody looking at you, and when he's talking to you, it's like you're the only person in the world. It just was an amazing experience.
No doubt.
One of many amazing experiences.
Yeah. What two things I want you to touch on real quick before you continue. What was it like when you got your first jersey? Like when you got your jersey and you saw that it had your name on it for real. What was that like first? And then I got another question. Tell me about that.
Well, that was phenomenal. Like I said, oh wow. Curly Neal's daughter is in there. So much love.
Oh, shout out.
She's phenomenal.
Man.
And that's my girl. She got some big things. She got some big things coming on. So
legendary.
Much love.
Legendary.
Well,
what homage paid to you, Queen?
One thing that is amazing is Curly Neal was at my very first game. So all my life, that's who I was trying to be.
Yeah.
That's who my idol was. So when he made it to my first game, man, and he ended up becoming a great friend and a great mentor of mine. But having him at my first game, it was in Sacramento. It was probably one of the top experiences in my life at that time. And just being able, man, to learn from him over the years, man. I learned so much from Curly Neal.
Yeah. Well, give me some examples. What are some things that he learned, that some gems he gave you, just some things that you took from him? Oh man,
one is, man, he is not. People remember how you make them feel. I remember we were walking in Seattle one time, and this lady went up to him and just started crying, and said, I see you, and it reminds me of the times I spent with my father. And I realized what kind of ambassador he was all around the world.
Gotcha.
Well, one time we were in Florida, and the president of the Florida Marlins we had an appearance with the president, and Curly wasn't going to go. And I said, man, Curly, listen, man, this dude want to see you. He don't want to see me. We got there, man. The president of the Florida Marlins showed Curly a picture of him and Curly when he was 10 years old at Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
And he said, I show every single player that comes to our organization this picture because this was my introduction to sports. And because of you, I wanted to get into sports. And now I'm the president of the Florida Marlins. So I tell every player on the Florida Marlins that come through this organization, I show them this picture because you never know whose life you're touching. And because you touched my life, I'm the president of the Florida Marlins. And it was always that whenever I was with him. I'm talking about Floyd Mayweather hawking him down. Everybody. He was a rock star, man. So one thing I learned from him, man, is you try to treat everybody special, no matter who it is. And I live my life that way. I try to help as many people as I can. And I try to, you know, I don't stop signing autographs. You know, I'm never going to be one who's tired of signing autographs. You know, I'm blessed enough to be in this position and be a role model. You embrace that. And I learned that from Curly, man. He would sign every autograph, take every picture the whole way to the end. He always did.
That's dope. Hey, I want to take advantage of this moment real quick. While we have Curly Neal's daughter on, man, that's legendary. Hey, if you're watching this interview right now, we have a legend in the building, you know, amongst, you know, my man Chris Franklin, that's a legend. We have Curly Neal's daughter in the building, the legendary Curly Neal. We have his daughter in the building. Hey, LV Neal 22. If you have any question, usually I save the Q&A, question and answer section for the legends till the end of the show. But at LV Neal 22, if you have any question, if you could just think of a question to ask Chris Franklin as it relates to your dad or just anything about his experience with the Harlem Globetrotters, that'll be so special to us. So here on the show, just a question, any question you have for Chris, if you have it, just put it in the comment section at any time. We'll just stop and he'll answer that question. But continue, man.
Yeah, well, you know, we family though. That's sis right there. So
no doubt. That means a lot to have her watch it, man. I appreciate it. Hey, real quick, going back. Did you get a chance to keep your name that you wanted to come with, or they made up your, you know, they you know, was going to make up a name for you, or you said no, I want this name, or what?
No, I kept my name. My name was given to me from by Sean Broden. Rest in peace. Sean Broden would say, "You got Handles." Then he just started calling me Handles. And when I played on his team, summer league team, we had a great team. We won the whole city championship. We called Mob Deep, and everybody had their nicknames on their shirts and on the back of their shorts. Gotcha. So I had Handles across my chest and Handles across my backside. Gotcha. And that name stuck. So not a lot of people come. Some people come and get their name. But I had that nickname since about the 10th grade, and it stayed with me ever since.
So they just let you rock out with your original nickname, which is legendary. That's awesome, man. That's dope. That's dope. So continue, man. Just continue. Just any some of your most memorable experiences so far with the Globetrotters. Just anything. Just continue with the Globetrotter story. I just want to hear some more stories, man.
I mean, like I said, man, it's been an amazing experience. You know, being a Globetrotter, you know, you get an opportunity. First of all, like I said, this is what I always did. So it's not like work to me. Like I love doing it. I love touching lives in a positive way. And I think that's what our organization does, you know, all over the world. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I've been to 84 countries. I've been to some places where you'll never even be able to go again. I've been to Syria. I've been to Syria, Libya, some places where you can't go anymore. I've been to the pyramids in Egypt. You know, been to China 14 different times. You know what I mean? I've literally been all around the world. So that experience is like no other. But now I'm in a place where I'm able to help other people. When I was coming up, man, it wasn't an opportunity coming out of Harrisburg. Like I didn't know how to get to where I need to go. So I had to move to where I needed to be, man. Yeah. So now, man, I've been blessed enough to help other people out. You know, being a scout for the Globetrotters also. I was able to I had my camp coming up Monday, but it was a girl that went to my camp that was phenomenal. I was able to get her a tryout, and she ended up having a great stint with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Wow.
And was, you know, was all over the world, all over TV, and still doing amazing things on her in her own right now. Krista Jackson from Harrisburg.
Oh, no doubt.
So
That's what's up.
yeah, so I was able to give her an opportunity, and you know, and her life was changed overnight. And now, I mean, if you go to her page, she probably has 200,000 followers. You know, she's a phenomenal energy and a phenomenal talent. But I was able to give her that opportunity where I didn't have somebody give me an opportunity.
I definitely got to try to connect with her. That's an amazing story, man. I would definitely love to hear that story from her. That's awesome, man. Definitely got to try to connect with her as well. That's dope. That's dope.
So like a number of players, I'm able to help them get opportunities, and give people, man, if I see somebody talented as I go around the world, I'm able to give them a shot, and that's being able to bless somebody else is really, I think, one of the most rewarding things. And lastly, man, I you know what, I had a conversation with Jadakiss. We were in Canada, sitting backstage. He was about to go on. We sitting backstage talking, and he talked about, you know, having a hit and having a career.
Gotcha.
He said, you know, anybody can make a hit. It's about making a career about what you love to do.
Of course.
And I think, man, that's what I've been blessed to do. I've been getting paid to play basketball for 20 years and still going, man. And been able to help some people along the way. So it's definitely been a blessing.
No doubt. Hey, so what we're gonna do is what we're gonna do real quick is I think it's a good time. Instagram is gonna start counting me down on the first hour. I only have a few more questions, and then I'll let you you know, interact with the people, let the people ask you some questions and everything. Miss Nice to you too. Matter of fact, you can answer this question first, and then we'll go to break. I'll save this and we'll come right back. I just have like 2 more questions, and then, you know, if the people have any questions for you, I'll let them go. But Miss Nice to you too wants to know, where is the most interesting place that you visited?
Well, my favorite place is Australia. I love Australia. It was a phenomenal, beautiful place. But I think most interesting would have to be Egypt, man. The pyramids are phenomenal. Climbing on the pyramids and being on a structure that's been around that long, definitely most interesting place I've been, I think.
That's awesome. That's dope, man. All right, so hey, so people, listen. I'm gonna end this broadcast here. Save it because we're coming down our first hour. Everybody, come right back. I just have like 1 or 2 more questions. This is my man Chris Handles Franklin from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Thanks, man. Love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Played at Susquehanna Township High School, Lockhaven University. Somebody said, you know, stop being so humble, man. You led. You was like, what did he say? He said, don't let him be humble. He was top 5 in the nation in assists and steals. So your college career was crazy, super crazy. Currently, you know, playing with the world famous Harlem Globetrotters, man, putting smiles on faces all around the world. And that thing that you said about Curly Neal, as far as, you know, people will remember how you make them feel, that really stuck out to me, man, because that's one of the things that I do. I've always wanted to, you know, make people feel, not make people feel good, but just have a good impression on people, man. You know what I'm saying?
You always have.
No doubt. And I really understand that language, man. So that really touched my heart. So, hey, we're going to take a quick break. Come back. Just do the same thing. Come back in like 30 seconds. Join, send me another request, and we're gonna be wrapping up. And we back. It's part 2 of Legends Week with my man Chris Handles Franklin, Harrisburg native, Susquehanna Township High School. Had an amazing college career at Lockhaven, where he was the I believe, you know, led and assists. And oh, here we go. Hey, we back with my man Chris Handles Franklin, current member of the world famous Harlem Globetrotters, man. Just want to let the audience know, the first hour was crazy. If you're just joining this, man, amazing storyteller, amazing story. His journey to where he is currently was truly amazing, man. So you guys are definitely going to make sure you go back and to catch the whole story. I just have 3 more questions, man. And So we're gonna do it like this. Normally, I'll save my the Q&A to the very end. But I'm gonna let you guys know now, all the viewers, if you're watching this right now, if you have any questions, start typing your questions in the bottom of the screen right now. If you have any question for Chris Franklin about his journey, about his life, about Harlem Globetrotters, anything, start any advice, start typing your questions right now at the bottom of the screen, and I'll pin them, and he'll just answer them as we go along. And if not, we'll just save it for the end. So real quick, just tell the people, man. Real quick. So just reflect on your Globetrotters journey so far, and your overall experience with basketball so far, man. And what are some things that this journey's taught you so far?
Oh man, it's been amazing, man. Basketball has provided me so many opportunities. But I mean, I think most importantly is giving me a vehicle to help other people. A lot of people helped me growing up. I mean, I think we come from a community where, there's a lot of coaches influential in my life. A lot of different people. My family, of course, my high school coaches, my mentors. Coach Cam, rest in peace. Coach Des Mangus, Coach Kaba, Brunson. A lot of people. Charlie Vaughn. A lot of people, man, who really helped me growing up. So, I mean, I think it's important for myself and other athletes to do all that we can in the community to help other kids, other people, and help people not only be successful on the court, but more importantly, successful off the court. And I think, that's what's been the great part of the journey, being able to help other people.
No doubt, no doubt. You mentioned the community. If you can touch on throughout your journey, some of the things that you've done in the community, and some of the things that you're currently doing in the community now, just to help kids and to help people, man. Talk about that, because that's one of the things that's really been inspirational to myself, from me kind of watching your life, just seeing and hearing about all the things that you're doing in the community, man, to help people. That's a blessing, man. So talk about some of those things.
Well, one, I have my camp, man. I'm going almost 20 years. So my camp is something that focuses on not just on basketball, but life skills, creating new character and leadership, and trying to make leaders out of young kids, and trying to teach kids that doing the right thing is the cool thing to do. So that's been very important to me, to be able to pass on these positive messages to kids. So that's one for me. But I've been able to do to revitalize these basketball courts, and that has been great for me. We started at 4th and Emerald. It was something that that community had worked hard trying to do for years.
Yeah.
My man Jason Johnson and Ray Johnson, Duke Burnett, and a lot of them up there, man, do amazing work out of that facility, man. They were trying to get that court done, and man, but we put in the work, and we were able to redo the court. Not only did the court get resurfaced, new glass backboard, state of the art, LED lights, brand new fencing, and once we got that done, pretty much, man, with our own money. So once that got done, the city matched it, man, and made it even better park. And the kids were busy and playing on that court ever since. And I was able to help them honor one of my mentors, Coach Cam.
Yes,
Coach
sir.
Cam, man,
Shout out to Coach Cam, man. Rest in peace, man. Legend.
Yeah. So when we were kids, man, we used to sleep in the Y. Myself, Pint Tate, Cam would take us on little trips, man. We played AAU up there, man. Them two, Rashawn Carlton, that whole Uptown crew, Randy Thornton and Aaron Slade, Claude Beaton. We used to sleep inside the Y, man. Cam was always there. He was tough, but a lot of that, man, later on helped me in life. So I was able to help with that, man. And to honor somebody who always worked with kids his whole life. He put what he had in the children. So that was great. The second court, man, Coach Des, still, a lot of times we give people their flowers when they're gone. So when we decided to do Coach Des, it was important that we do it for him while he's here. He still, to this day, still works with kids every day. He instilled a lot in myself and a lot of the community. So it was important to be able to do that court for Coach Dez. And one man we tried to do was Coach Sherm out the South Side. And the reason why we didn't get a chance to do that court was because where we were putting the court was a basketball court right behind my old house in Hall Manor, 38E.
Gotcha.
And we wanted to do that for Coach Sherm Cunningham. Amazing man. Touched so many people's lives and deserving of that honor. But, you know, the reason why we didn't do that court is because we weren't sure what was going on with Hall Manor at the time. They talked about if we did fix it, it may have to get taken down. So we held off, but we still, one of these days, want to be able to honor Coach Sherm Cunningham for all that he's done in this community with these kids. And then Edgemont, which is a community I grew up in. The more I started doing parks, the easier it got. I started knowing the things to do, and when we did Edgemont Court, which is another one of my old neighborhoods, we did the double court. It was a $40,000 project. We were able to get it done and completed, and people play on it every day. So it's great to see kids active again. It's one thing I missed, and I think basketball kept me out of trouble. It kept me active. So it's important for me to be able to do that for the kids. So of course, we do the basketball things. Through my foundation, we give out Thanksgiving turkeys every year and meals. So that's important. And another thing I'm real proud of that my foundation's been able to do is, you know, we give away gifts every year for Christmas for kids. We give away toiletries, coats, jackets, gloves, and scarves to the mission every year, and to families that are less fortunate or homeless. So we try to do our part. Even during this pandemic, we were able to take 250 meals and feed essential employees during this pandemic. And not only were we feeding the employees, but we stimulated local business and put money into businesses that may be struggling. So we bought the dinners from the businesses and served the essential workers who are on the front lines every day. So I mean, it's been a lot of ways to show people we appreciate them. This year, I'm honored to have my basketball camp be for free. So you know, every kid gets a basketball, a shirt, a mask, a bag, a book bag, cones to do the drills, and we're doing it virtually, so they can do it right at their home. They can do it in their living room, you know. So I'm, you know, just honored to be able to continue to try to find ways to give back and do positivity in the community. I think that's what it's about.
No doubt, no doubt. I appreciate that, man. Everything that you touched on was key. I know it was a great synopsis on everything, man. I'm gonna get to this question real quick. I just have one more question, but I'll get to this question real quick from N. Smith, 2681 wants to know, how did the experience of connecting with people from different cultures all around the world through basketball shape your social views with all that's going on in the USA today?
Wow, that's actually a great question, man. One thing's for certain, man. Like I said, I've been to 84 countries. I've been to some places, man, some of the poorest of the poor. And I mean, you may think you saw poor, but until you've been to some of these countries, man, and you see what some of these kids go through. I mean, kids, you would learn to appreciate what you got. So one thing, man, I've learned to appreciate everything I have and everything around me. That's number one. Number two is you realize, man, that when you have a world perspective or a world view, is that no matter where you are, people are inherently the same. And when I say that, I mean that they want what's best for their families. I mean, people are just people. They're just humans. You know what I mean? So, and having a worldly perspective, being able to see how people are in Africa or Asia or Europe or South America, you learn to appreciate all people, all cultures. When we go to these countries, man, we don't just show up. Like personally, myself, I try to find different monuments in different parts of the city, and visit them all over the world. So I find the monuments. I immerse myself in the culture. I try their food. I ask questions. Even when we do the shows, you know, we try to learn their language and do games and shows in their language.
Gotcha.
That might be easy uh, in Spanish, but when you start go from Spain to France or go to China, you know what I mean, or and trying to learn their language, and they appreciate that, and you learn to appreciate each other's cultures, and you extend a hand of diplomacy. So that's been a great learning experience for me, learning from other cultures. So that shapes my view, period.
Got you. I appreciate that, man. Another good one, and I'm glad this individual asked this question because I'm sure other people are wondering as well as you're talking about your efforts to, you know, to help the community and stuff. TM_Burner wants to know how can we donate to your foundation, I guess, to help you to continue all your efforts and helping people and everything. How can they donate?
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. People can donate at handlesfoundation.org.
Here, you keep talking. I'm gonna put that in the. I'm gonna type that. It's handlesfoundation.org.
Yeah, handlesfoundation.org, and they you're able to donate and help us with a lot of things we do. Oh wow, the Green Up family, one of my old teammates, man. Airport Green Up, much love, and his wife, amazing people, Leslie, love. But yeah, handlesfoundation.org.
So I put that. Is that correct right there? I put it at the bottom of the screen. So if anybody wants to donate to my man Chris Handles Franklin Foundation, to, you know, he's feeding people. He's doing all these great things. He has the free camp. It's handlesfoundation.org. Is that it?
Yeah, yeah. All
Got
lower caps, but you know that'll work.
Got you. Got you. Salute. Yeah. So handlesfoundation.org is how you can donate to my man Chris Franklin's foundation. Let me see. We got some more questions here. Gotcha. Oh, we got. Shout out to my man Coach Jelon Bransford, man. Another great ball handler. He's coaching. You know, he does the training and stuff with the kids, man. Another great ball handler, man. Hey, Coach Jelon, we got Chris Handles Franklin on. He's the GOAT, man, for sure. The last question I have, man, Chris Franklin, if you can just talk to the younger generation right now, you know, speak to them, give them some advice, some words of wisdom, some encouragement, keys to success, you know, some young basketball players that are trying to make their way, whether they're trying to go to college and hoop, NBA, you know, if they're aspiring to be a globetrotter, you know, talk to them right now.
Well, my messages are consistent. This is what I tell people. I mean, people always wonder how I went from the little kid from Hall Manor, 6 years old with a vision, to actually have my dream come to fruition, or doing what I always wanted to do, man. And when I put some thought to it, number one, I think to kids, I tell them to listen to their parents, their teachers, and their coaches, because they're trying to lead them in the right direction, and they want what's best for them. I think that parents and coaches and teachers, they made mistakes so that kids don't have to. They've been through it. The best mistakes you can make are somebody else's. So if you just listen, if I would have just listened to my parents, my teachers, and my coaches, I wouldn't have made half the mistakes I would have made in my life. So that's number one. Listen to your parents, your teachers, your coaches. Number two, I would say stay in school, get your education. You know, they're our future. Without them, we have no future. Don't you teach us. More importantly, don't teach yourself. I play professional basketball for a living, but I have a master's degree. You know, I believe that you shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you land amongst the stars. The Globetrotters was my moon. You know what I mean? I was going after it. But all this other stuff, my education, my degrees, those are my stars. If I miss the moon, I got stars to land amongst. So, and I watch all the time, man, careers end abruptly. Even this pandemic has ended a lot of careers. One thing they can't take away is your degrees. I got a master's degree, which means I probably would be fine no matter what. So get your education. That's number two. Get that education. And nowadays, man, you can get your education anywhere. You can go right to the internet, type in some stuff, and find out whatever you want. Knowledge is everywhere, and knowledge is key. Number three, I would say, man, stay away from drugs. You know, we're at a place, man, where weed is as cool as it can be. People are getting younger and younger smoking weed, younger and younger drinking. Listen, man, when you become an adult, when you make it, do whatever you want. But until you make it, man, stay far away from drugs. Stay far away from that negative stuff. There's a lot of people just as talented, if not more talented, that never left because they started partaking in drugs when I didn't. And I'm a strong believer in that, man. And like I said, when you get to a place where you've made it, you know what I mean, then do whatever you want. But until you make it, I think, especially kids, man, stay far away from drugs. Number 4 is believe in your dreams. Believe in yourself. I believe the kids are our future. Without them, we have no future. Listen, believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams. Years, people told me there's no way I could be a Harlem Globetrotter. They would tell me I dribble too much. I would dribble the ball everywhere. They would say, you dribble too much. You dribble too much. I would hear it all the time. You dribble too much. Now I travel around the world. My 13th year with the Harlem Globetrotters, getting paid to dribble. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams. Don't let nobody ever tell you that you can't do something or you can't be somebody. And, you know, it was a couple times in my life where I started thinking, man, I can't do it. Remember I told you that, and that's another thing, not just kids, man, adults. Mm-hmm. Like, don't let nobody tell you that you can't do something, man. People mm-hmm. told me I was too old to be a Globetrotter. Mm-hmm. And I started believing it. And if I would have listened to that, I would never be a Globetrotter. Yep. Like, it's never too late. Yep. Never too late to do what you want. I don't care if you're 70. If you want to do something, put your mind to it and rock out.
I know that's
You know what I mean? So believe in yourself and believe in your dreams, man. And it's never too late to attain your dreams. It's never too late to go back and get your education. It's never too late to start that business that you want to. It's never too late. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You just got to put your mind to it and get your focus. So believe in your dreams. And lastly, keep God in your life. I'm a firm believer, man. I believe that if God is with you, no one can be against you. I don't try to force my views on others. And I know there are people who believe in different things. Whoever your higher power is, you know, more power to you. But I personally believe that God has guided me. Like I said, there are times where, you know, if mistakes wouldn't have happened, I would never be where I was. So, I mean, I think I've been blessed. It's important for me to help try to bless as many people as I can. And I live in that way.
No doubt. Well, I thank you so much for, you know, speaking to the younger generation and not just speaking to the younger generation. I mean, those words of wisdom and your experience and articulation of it was for everybody, man. So me personally, I received everything that you just threw out. So thank you so much, man. Mm-hmm. We have a legendary question from the daughter of the legend, Curly Neal's daughter. This is LV Neal 22 is a legendary, you know, rest in peace, Curly Neal's daughter. So LV Neal 22 says, what is your biggest takeaway from your relationship with Curly?
Well, there's so many. But I think one is, I think he was the world's ambassador. He made everybody feel good. I don't care how sad he was, tired he was, when it was time for him to be on, he made everybody feel good, man. Mm-hmm. And you know, sometimes, especially me, right? Sometimes you get tired, right? And sometimes it's things you don't feel like doing. Mm-hmm. When you're in the public eye and when you're blessed enough to help others, you don't got time to be tired, you know? And I learned that from Curly, man. You know, no matter what kind of mood he was, what kind of day he was having, when he came into people, he tried to make everybody feel special. And I try to live that way. That's one of the biggest things I I learned from Curly, man. Just a great person, a great friend.
No doubt. So thank you so much for that response, man. And thank you, LV Neal 22, the daughter of Curly Neal, for that question. That was amazing. Just want to go through a couple comments. Oh, here we go. Modern Mind Explorer says, I'm throwing in $100, I guess $100 to get the funding started. Yeah, so you might have some you know, some donations coming in. So God bless them, man, for you know, for hearing the need and wanting to support your cause, man. August 22nd says, we love you, Chris. Jelon Bransford, Coach Bransford says, a living legend, nothing but love and respect.
Oh man, much love. Thank you.
Yes, sir. N Smith 2681 says you need to talk to as many kids as possible. Somebody shouting you out for having your master's degree. Role
Thank you.
model. A lot of great feedback. Nothing but great feedback here. Let me see if there are any.
Oh, thank you, man. I see emo, love.
I'm just scrolling through to see if there are any more questions.
Hey, my fan.
Oh, my man. Oh, shout out to my man. The real Grill Master 32. My man from around my way. He asked, how. Oh, has anyone ever told you that you look like Mark Jackson?
I do hear that from time to time. I do hear that from time to time. I hear, I think we got something similar because I hear it quite often. From
No doubt.
yeah, that's funny.
So that's
Yeah.
not the first time you've heard that. That's what's
No,
up.
no. I get Mark Jackson a lot.
That's
And Mark
dope.
Jackson's a great dude, man. A great person.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm trying to scroll through to see if there's any more questions here. Anybody else have any more questions from my man Chris Handles Franklin? Type them at the bottom of the screen. I have something that I thought about. Oh, if there's anybody interested, I know the outdoor court scene has evolved and changed. It's kind of went downhill. Kids aren't really playing basketball outdoors like they used to. Some big cities like Philadelphia, it may be a safety issue, but it's a lot of people. People are reclaiming their communities. Reinvesting in the parks and playgrounds, all that kind of stuff. So if there's an old abandoned basketball court in someone's neighborhood and they want to get some people together, get some funds together, to do something about it, to make it beautiful again, to tribute it to somebody. You don't got to give out the whole blueprint, but what are some things that they can some steps they can take to head it in that direction? What advice would you give them?
Well, a couple things. Well, first of all, I think the reason why I love my city is, it's attainable. Where you can see an issue, you can see a problem, and you can attack it. And I think that's what we did. We saw an issue. For me, I thought that kids weren't active. They weren't playing outdoors anymore. And I felt that if you made the courts attractive, people would come play. And point proven, because all those courts stayed packed. But I think one is you can contact our foundation. We're always looking for new projects, and we're looking to help new communities.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's one. You can contact our organization. We'll work. A number of people, man, that I know that would be happy to help. I had a great conversation with Baron Davis. We were in Italy together not too long ago meeting, and he talks about a lot of the community things he's doing, and one of those things is building courts. So I mean, I think there are people and foundations that you could reach out to if you got the right court and you're in the right focus. I think there are people that help, and I'm one of those. So I would say reach out to our foundation would be one. And for yourself, I mean, basically, it comes down to dollars and cents. Raise the money and get it fixed.
Yeah.
But anybody looking for help with that, I would love to help. I also could show you how we did it, what we did, what companies we used. So anybody looking to renovate anything, especially in impoverished neighborhoods or in neighborhoods that serve our children, I would love to help.
Awesome, man. I'm going to make sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to later on or tomorrow this weekend, I'm going to crop out this section of the interview, and I'm gonna post this on my Instagram page, man, to make sure I drive as much traffic to your foundation, to the website for donations and all that kind of stuff. But for individuals that want to, especially in the Philly area, all that kind of stuff, Lancaster, Reading, who may need, support renovating courts and have a good story behind why they want to renovate a court, I'm gonna definitely have them reach out to you, man. That'd be a blessing, man.
I actually talked to friends of mine, Joe and Mike Richmond down in Philly, and my man Speedy, one of my teammates, and we talked about some of those things. So, it would definitely be good to branch out. All the courts that I've redone or revitalized have been in Harrisburg, but I wouldn't be opposed to branching out to any areas. So.
No doubt. N Smith 2681 says, would you be willing to come to schools and talk to kids? Or is that something that you do?
Yeah, I do it all the time, as a matter of fact, man. I speak to hundreds of schools a year, especially through the organization, the Globetrotters. But, you know, a lot of times when we get to touring, man, the schedule is so hectic that
Yeah.
we're in a different city every day for
Got,
months.
gotcha.
So we leave Christmas and we're going for 5, 6 months at a time. But
Gotcha.
whenever I'm off, I do a lot of speaking, especially to kids and especially to schools. So would definitely be interested with entertaining. If I got the time off, I'd love to do it.
Gotcha. One last question. If there's no more questions from the people,
My
somebody
bro.
are you guys still touring during the pandemic situation, or that's on pause?
Nah, everything's shut down right now in the entertainment field, like
Yeah.
everybody else. And ours is a little different than the NBA. With the NBA, you know, you can build a bubble and play multiple games. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, you guys need an audience, so
yeah, we deal with audience. So, you know what I mean? Ours isn't about a competitive nature. It's about making other people feel good, bringing people together, bringing families together of all ages. So we kind of need that crowd. And, you know what I mean? I think from our organization standpoint, until it's safe for everybody to be there, you know, we do other things, but we're not touring yet. But
no,
we looking forward to being out there again soon.
100%. Hey, well, we're going to end with this, man. And then I'll let you, give any last words or reflections or anything like that. I just want to end with an experience I had with you. I'm not sure if you remember this, bro, but I over the years I've told people this story and they've laughed, and still to this day it just boggles my mind. Okay, so I'm not from Harrisburg, but I live in Harrisburg now, right? I'm from Norristown. I came to Harrisburg after college. I went to
Right.
Westchester University. I graduated. I started coming to Harrisburg. I moved to Harrisburg in like 2001 when I graduated college. I didn't know anybody except my wife and her family. That was it. So naturally, as a basketball player, how you meet people anywhere, basketball is universal. You find a court, you start shooting, shooting some rock, and before you know it, you know some guys. You know what I'm saying? You got a little brotherhood, right? So I believe like one of the first guys I met in the Harrisburg area is my man Officer Hawkins, Jimmy Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
That I met him and he introduced some guys who were playing. So I forget how, but I wound up playing in a basketball league at the Camp Curtin Y. It was a little men's league or something like that. It was either, I think it was a men's league or some open rec, or I think it was a league or whatever. So we're in there, we're playing, and all of a sudden you were on the opposite team. I didn't know you at the time, but you were on the opposing team. I'm a big man. I'm 6'5", so I'm playing one of the bigs, and all of a sudden it was a pick screen. We chose to switch, so I'm guarding you at the top of the key, right? And I'm in my defensive stance. I'm not up on you because I'm sure you'll blow past me, but I'm kind of back a little bit. So you stood there, and then you actually, bro, I don't know if you remember this. You got on the ground, bro, and started like dribbling on the ground. You like sat on the ground on your butt and started dribbling. And in my mind, I'm looking around like at my teammates. I don't really know nobody, but I'm looking around like, what is this? What the heck's going on here? What am I supposed to do? Was I supposed to get on the ground or get on my knees and D you up? But I had no idea what was going on. You did something. I can't quite, it was kind of a blur, but I remember you did something, you either scored or passed the rock off. But I remember after that experience leaving, like, what the heck just happened? And who was that guy?
I was always trying to be a globetrotter, man. I was trying. I couldn't get there, but I was trying.
Dog, I was in my mind. I was stuck. I'd never experienced nothing like that. I'm like, yo, this brother just got on the ground and started doing the showcase showboating like, Harlem. I'm like, yo, what was I supposed to get that? Was I supposed to get down and do you up on the ground? Like,
ironically, I did the same thing at Rucker Park. Got a great response there, and I did it in the All-Star when I played in the All-Star Celebrity All-Star game with T.O. and I don't think the actor that was guarding me was it Chris Tucker or Donald Faison. They tackled me. I don't think they were too happy with it.
I think you was, if I remember correct, I think you was kind of taunting me like come on here. Come get the ball. I was like, man,
that sounds possible.
Well, hey, that's pretty much. Oh, we got a TM Burner says, "Oh man, I wish I could jump in on that story." Hey, if you type something, man, if you can type something. But hey, that's pretty much it, man. Just want to thank you again for joining me for Legends Week, man. Thank you for the opportunity to pay homage to your legacy. Thanks for sharing your story, man. It was so inspirational, just kind of hearing how you got from point A to point B where you are. thanks for all you're doing with the kids. I'm going to do all I can to, promote and support your foundation, and I'll drive traffic there through my audience. Is there any last words you have? Any shout outs, anything you want to say, man?
Well, first, I'm honored to be on. So thank you, man. Thanks for having me on. And I'm honored, man. Just, I see the range of amazing people that you've interviewed. So, I'm honored to be, at least mentioned in the same light, or as some of them, because I've seen some amazing people from around here. I watched, of course, Q, Malia, and Billy Owens, the GOAT from around here.
Sure.
Man. A lot of those Philadelphia legends you had, man. So I'm just honored that you gave me opportunity. Tristan, phenomenal player, phenomenal person. So I'm honored to be a part of it, and thanks for having me, man.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, I appreciate that, man. Two last reflections here. T.M. Burner says when he was your roommate, you used to practice that on him, and he couldn't take the rock from you.
That sounds about right.
And August 22nd, this is our last one, says, yup, that's Handles. I knew he was a future Globetrotter when he played pickup at Hack, and he put the ball in the small of his back after crossing someone over in a real game. I was like, fam, and just like laughed.
I was always trying to be a Globetrotter, that's for certain.
That's crazy. Like just put, practicing your stuff in the midst of like real games and pickup games. I know people was confused, but in your mind, you was like, no, like I'm working on. I'm trying. I'm working right now.
Yeah, I was
honing my skills, man.
I was seeing what worked and what didn't.
Exactly.
It paid off.
It out in real life.
It paid off in the long run.
Two last things real quick. All those commercials, like the Nike commercials and like the commercials with Vince Carter and LeBron James, can you find all those on YouTube?
Yeah, all of them. Freestyle is the most popular one. So if you put Nike Freestyle basketball, that commercial, and that's the most popular one.
All right.
Millions of views. Then King James Nike commercial. Put that on. That's LeBron's very first commercial. I'm the one LeBron throws the ball up to in the balcony.
Okay.
Dr. Funk, that's the Vince Carter commercial. Put in Dr. Funk, and I'm the guard on Vince's team. I throw the ball under my leg to Vince and go over my neck with the dribble.
Yeah.
I'm the one when Vince blocks the ball, throws it to me up the side. And then Funk Ship is the one with Snoop Dogg and the Parliament. Right after Snoop starts talking, the camera comes right on me. That's when the Soul Train basketball commercial. All of them online. You can find them all.
Got you. And one last thing, tell the people the website to your foundation again.
handlesfoundation.org.
All lowercase.
Yep.
No doubt. Hey, thank you. God bless you, man, and much success. Praying for much success for the virtual camp. The Starling boys will be there. Just thank you so much, man. We appreciate you, Chris Handles.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Keep bigging up the community the way you're doing, man. You're doing some amazing things. You always have. And again, honored to know you, my brother. You keep up the great work.
I will do. Thank you so much. And this interview is going to be up on YouTube as well. As soon as I get it up, I'll make sure I send you the link.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
All right. Thank you, man.